about TikTok that you thought was concerning enough to deserve a ban in the United States?
Yes, thank you for having me. So some of the findings that we presented and we identified is the fact that TikTok has a lot of information on people who never even used TikTok in their lives, and they didn't even suspect that TikTok would be collecting their information.
How do they get it?
Yes, it's one of the most common ways is through something called pixels, tracking pixels on that we all come across and touch on websites that we use every day, like when you're booking a doctor's appointment or buying something online or banking online.
Wait, okay, so you're saying that TikTok is getting information about us, even if we've never downloaded TikTok, if we never use TikTok, if we never go on the platform and scroll other people's videos?
That is correct. And that was one of the findings that really startled a lot of people, that amount of data collected on people who never even used TikTok in their life.
So then what's to stop TikTok from continuing to do that if the app is banned, cannot be downloaded, cannot be updated, or is somehow disabled on phones? If you don't even have to have TikTok on your phone to be subject to data theft by TikTok, what's a ban? How's a ban going to fix that?
That's a very big question. So, by the way, something that can really help solve this broader problem, not just the TikTok problem, but a data collection by adversarial companies and countries, is something that is called the proposed act that will ban transferring Americans' data to companies that are controlled by adversarial states like China and Russia and Iran. So that could actually ban and prevent this overall problem that we face when our data is being collected.
Okay, and then what if you have ByteDance saying, okay, it's valuable enough, this U.S. business, that we don't want to see it banned, or presuming, I'm presuming that a court lets this law stand. But should that be the case, if they divest of TikTok, does it solve the problem?
It's definitely a step in the right direction when it comes to TikTok only. So yes, once let's presumably the divesting happens and there's a new control over the company. So what this means, first of all, is the data is still going to be collected, but it's going to be collected and sent to, call it, mothership that is in America, not in China. So it has to follow American rules, not what the Communist Party says. And after that, putting the controls, security controls, governance controls in place to make sure that all the data is safely stored. There's no backdoors. All the kind of digital gremlins are removed, and all of the doors, back doors, windows, everything is shut and everything is secure. People also are vetted. So there's people who have access to our data, do not leak it back to China or any other places.
To my knowledge, TikTok has said repeatedly that they have never, not once, shared any user data with Chinese government officials. How do we know whether we can believe them at all on that? How do we know? How would we ever know?
Ooh, that's a very big question. So first thing is by Chinese law, cybersecurity law, any company that is under their jurisdiction, in this case, ByteDance would be under jurisdiction, has to disclose any information or any data that they have, and they have to disclose it to the authorities.
If the authorities ask. If the authorities ask.
That is correct. And there have been reports already by journalists that have been confirmed that TikTok, information collected by TikTok was used to spying them, including geolocation and tracking some of the journalists.
Do you see problems beyond TikTok with other social media platforms and the way data is collected and disseminated?
Absolutely. There is a lot of data that is being collected, and it's not just TikTok and not just big tech from China or other countries. It is a broadly data collection, kind of a bit of a Wild West in a way. And so what I personally believe is that companies that collect data need to have very clear rules to follow, firstly, and secondly, be held accountable. Just like, for example, executives have personal responsibilities when it comes to following financial laws like Sarbanes-Oxley Act, or they can go to prison if they do not follow the rules.
Ivan, it's a fascinating saga, and we will be following it, and hopefully with you. Ivan Cerini, thank you. We're less than 24 hours.